Welcome to OpenTX.
Hello and welcome to the Whirly Bloke channel. Today I'm going to show you how to calibrate telemetry data on your Taranis and set up practical and useful low voltage alarms and warnings. So you've gone to all the trouble of getting telemetry hooked up on your quad and displaying it on your Taranis. But what are you going to do with it? Well, over the last couple of years building and flying mini quads, I've tried just about every combination of displaying things like battery voltage and current on the OSD, as well as on my Taranis. And the trouble is that when you're flying, you tend to get so engrossed it's really easy to miss any voltage, current or timer alarms that you've set up in your goggles on the OSD, let alone being able to read the actual values. What you really need is a nudge that your time's up because the battery's low, and you can then focus on the OSD display and decide if it's time to make your way back and land, or just ignore it and risk it a bit longer, and we've all done that. You can do that with a timer like I showed in a previous video up here, but creating an alarm based on voltage is much more realistic because a timer doesn't really account for how hard you're flying. You can use a low voltage alarm on the quad itself using Betaflight. You just set the warning and minimum voltage on the configuration page on the configurator app, and the quad buzzer will beep to tell you when the voltage is low. But that's next to useless when the quad is miles away and you can't hear it. So here's what I think is the best way to accurately calibrate your voltage sensors on your Taranis and set up some practical low voltage alarms that you can trust. I'll assume here that you've already got the telemetry set up and returning the VFAS or main battery voltage on your radio. But before we set up any low voltage alarms on here, we need to make sure that the value of VFAS really is the actual battery voltage. And you can do this with a multimeter and a battery, but it's far easier and more accurate to use a variable power supply and a lead like this one. You can make one up from some old pieces of motor wire, some banana plugs and an XT60 connector. And it may seem like an extra expense, but to be honest, a cheap variable current limited bench power supply is so useful. It's just great for testing things without having to worry about frying electronics. You just turn the current limit down and it's like a smoke stopper on steroids. And once you've got one, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. So here we've got my trusty Armatan Chameleon, and we've got it connected to the power supply, which is set to 16.8 volts. Now if you look at the value of VFAS on the radio, it should say 16.8 volts, like it does. But there's every chance it doesn't, and the VFAS sensor value needs calibrating. And as it turns out, my Chameleon's using an Omnibus F4 flight controller, and the VFAS value is spot on. And in my experience, F4 and KISS based flight controllers are pretty much okay and need no calibrating. But F3 based boards usually need some tweaking. Take this Diatone GT2 with a Fury F3 flight controller. Here you can see it's saying 16.6 volts when it should be saying 16.8, which is what we've got on the power supply. So this needs calibrating. It's really easy to do. Scroll until you get to VFast being selected and press enter. And one of the things that you can see here is the voltage is displayed to 2 decimal places, and we really don't need that. So we can change the precision by scrolling down to precision, pressing enter, and there we go, we're just displaying to 1 decimal place, which is more than adequate. Exit out of that. Now we need to apply an offset to this voltage here to bring it up to read 16.8 volts. So select offset, press enter, and then increase it until this matches what you've got on the power supply, 16.8 volts. Exit out of that, and now we can see our VFAS is set to 16.8 volts and matches exactly what's on the power supply. So now the voltage sensor is calibrated correctly, we can set up some low voltage alarms and know that the values we're basing on are accurate. So the first thing we're going to do, just to make things convenient, is make the Taranis read out the value of VFAS whenever we hit this switch. Very simple. We can do it with a special function. With the model selected, press page until you get to special functions, which is page 10. Press enter, and we're going to use switch SH, so just hit that until the arrow's pointing up, which means it'll activate when the arrow's this way. Sorry, when the switch is this way. Press enter to select, and then we are going to, when that switch is activated, we're not going to play a sound, we're not going to play a track, we're going to play a value. And now we need to select what value we're going to play, which will be VFAS. Press enter. You long press enter, it shows you the grouping, so you don't have to scroll through everything. And we want something from telemetry. Select that. We don't want current. What we want is VFAS, which is in here somewhere. There we go. Now you find there's two other values of VFAS, minus and plus. These are the highest and lowest voltages that were actually recorded during the session. You don't want those, you actually want the one that just says VFAS. So press exit, and now if I flick this switch,
16.8 volts.
which is exactly what we've got on our meter here. So what we need to do now is set up some logical switches. We go back to logical switch page, which is page 9. What we're going to do is set up a logical switch so that when VFAS is less than a certain value, it's going to activate the switch, and then we'll make it do something. So press enter again, and to select it. And what we want to do is select A less than X. What this means is that when a value is less than a certain value you're going to set here, something's going to happen. Press enter, scroll across to there, and what we want to do is select telemetry, and what we want is VFAS. Get there eventually, it's that one. Enter, scroll across to here. So what we're going to do now, this is the value that we're going to check it against. So we'll say that the warning voltage that we want is 14 volts. Gone way past it. Press enter. Logical switch L1 is going to activate when VFAS is less than 14 volts. And we can check that on here. If we wind down the power supply to 13.2 volts, you can see this has gone bold, which means the switch has activated. And if I wind it back up again, it's gone off. So a logical switch is just like a soft switch. But now that switch is activated, we need to do something with it. So we'll use a special function to play a sound on the Taranis when L1 is activated. So go back to special functions, which is the next page. Select the next free slot, press enter again here to select it. Now we could pick one of these switches like we did before with SH, but what we want is the logical switch. So long press to select the grouping, select logical switch, and it was logical switch L0 that we set up. Press exit, and what we wanted to do is play a track. So let's pick that, exit, across here, and what we will choose is battery low, if I can find it. Low bat, there we go. Yes. We wanted to play that just once. So if we press exit. Now, if I wind the voltage down to below 14 volts.
No battery.
There we go. It's triggered at 14 volts. Trigger it again, wind it down.
Low battery. No battery.
So now we're going to get an audio warning whenever the voltage drops below 14 volts. It'll happen every time we go down. So
Low battery.
goes back up again.
Low battery.
Goes back down again. Now, the problem with that is that when you do a punch out or something, we all know that the battery voltage drops for a short period and then recovers again. So the problem is that if your battery's starting to die a little bit, or you got halfway through its life, you're going to get that warning all the time you do a punch out, and it's going to give you a false alarm basically. So there is a way around that. If you go back to the logical switch page, enter, 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 and you come across to delay, what we'll do is we'll say that we'll apply basically what is a low pass filter to this, that delay this switch operating for 2 seconds. So if the battery voltage drops below 14 volts for 1 second and then recovers like it does in a punch out, your alarm won't activate, so you're not going to get a false readout and just get annoyed by it. So let's see what we've got here on the meter. So if I wind this down below 14 volts and back up again, I didn't get an alarm. Scroll it down again, below 14, back up again, sort of equivalent of a punch out. Here you can see the advantage of using a power supply. It's much easier to test this. But if I drop it below 14 volts,
Low battery.
wait for 2 seconds, it do a readout, which is exactly what you want. You don't want annoying alarms coming off your radio every few seconds. So there we are, that's pretty good. So we've got a warning at 14 volts. But what happens if the battery drops below that? So if it gets down to 13.5 volts, you're pretty much at the end of your battery life. So why don't we put a critical alarm in when we get to 13.5 volts? We can do the same thing. We'll set up a new logical switch on L2, press enter, and again we want A less than X. Exit, scroll across here, long press to select telemetry, choose VFAS, and this time we're going to set the voltage. Sorry, I was just thinking an activity alarm on the quad. No, we don't want to go that way. Exit. So we've got a logical switch that gets triggered at 13.5 volts, and again we'll put a delay on it so we don't get any false readouts when we're doing punch outs and so on. 2 seconds is arbitrary, you could make it less, but I found 2 seconds works really well. Exit out of that, go back to special functions, and we're going to activate something when L02 is pressed. So long press, choose a logical switch, in this case L2, and again we're going to play a track, and in this case we'll choose critical battery. Now I think for critical battery it's useful to repeat the warning over and over, because you know that you really need to be landing. So rather than having ×1 here, press enter and scroll it up to 2 seconds, which is fine, which means critical battery will continue to read out when the voltage stays below 13.5 volts. So let's try that out. We're flying along, we dip down. There we go, we dip down, it's going down to the low voltage.
Battery.
There we go. We're down at low battery because we dipped below 14 volts for more than 2 seconds. If I come up again, go back down below 14 volts.
Low battery.
There we go. And if we dip down under 13.5 volts, we're not going to get any warnings. But look what happens when we get down.
Low battery. Battery critical. Battery critical. Battery critical.
There we go. It's repeating
critical.
battery critical forever and
Battery
ever until you
critical.
stop it. So that's quite a good combination. We could add one more useful thing in, which is great on the Taranis. So let's set up another special function, and we'll trigger it off logical switch O2. So when it's critical, we're not going to play a track this time. We're going to make the Taranis vibrate. So you choose haptic. Oops. and I set it to 3 and I set it to repeat. So if we now dip down below 13.5 volts,
Low battery. Battery critical. Battery critical. Battery critical. Battery critical.
you may or may not be here, but it's actually vibrating,
Battery critical.
which is great.
Battery critical.
So wind that
Battery
back up.
critical.
So there's one last thing that you can do to refine this to give you what I think is the best setup for these voltage alarms. If you go to your logical switch page, you can see here we've already set this up to trigger logical switch L1 when the voltage is below 14 volts for more than 2 seconds. But sometimes you'll find that when you've got your quad and you're powering it up, it'll start doing things like reading out voltages and alarms that you don't really want. So we can make it so that this logical switch only triggers when you're flying. How do we do that? Really simple. Edit the logical switch and scroll across here, and this says AND. If we press enter, what we can do is make it so that let me just relax, beeping away. So this switch here I've set up as my arm switch. So what it's saying is this logical switch will only work when my arm switch is activated. So this alarm will only occur whilst I'm flying. Let's go and change the logical switch 2 to do the same, because we don't want our critical voltage doing that. There we go. So if I now wind down our voltage to below critical, I'm getting no warnings. And the reason I'm getting no warnings is because I set that AND. If I crank that back up, arm the quad, drop it down to 13.
Low battery.
There we go.
Battery critical. Battery critical. Battery critical.
And that turns it off. That's my setup for low voltage alarms that works for me, and is a result of trying just about everything that's possible. Okay, it's slightly complicated to set up, but once it's done, and you get sensible alarms and not a barrage of audio reads out, buzzes and beeps. You don't get false alarms, and you get just enough to remind you it's probably time to land and not have a trashed battery. And if you've got any suggestions or improvements, just let me know in the comments. And if you found that useful and want updates, please like and subscribe to the channel down here. It really does help me make better content. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. I'll see you next time.